Ph.D. at the University of South Australia in the year 2021. He's certified teacher trainer in Suggestopedia, Suggestopedia. While he did his studies initially in Bulgaria, in Sofia in Bulgaria, his MA, his diploma in education, and his bachelor degree. The title of his presentation is Suggestions. What suggestions? A humble suggestion to a suggestive integration in the classroom. Well, Mr. Hagiwara, we are looking forward to listening to you and to see what this intriguing title actually implies. The floor is yours.
Thanks. Okay. Hi, good morning to Greek people, and this is 6:30 in the evening in Australia. Hi, my name is Kaz Hagiwara. I am teaching Japanese at University of Queensland, Australia. I am also a qualified Suggestopedia teacher and teacher trainer for 23 years now. Today, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to my field, which is Suggestopedia, and its main concept, suggestion. Suggestopedia is an educational system developed between the late 1950s and early 1990s. The theory was developed by Georgy Lozanov, and the practical teaching method by Evelina Gateva. Lozanov was a professor of University of Sofia, Bulgaria. He was a psychotherapist and psychologist. Evelina Gateva, her career started as an opera singer and joined Lozanov to develop unique teaching method to put Lozanov theory in practice. This is Lozanov, and here this is Gateva. Suggestopedia is a teaching method, or a teaching system rather, developed as a holistic education and learning with optimal use of human brain, which is based on findings in psychotherapy. But like many of you, I have no knowledge of psychotherapy, as I myself is specialized in applied linguistics and sociocultural studies. So, and also I teach within a framework of ordinary university structure. So it's an institutional education. Therefore, what I'm talking here about the Suggestopedia is a basic concept in my own language as a linguist and sociologist, and how it can be realized within the framework of institutional education. Suggestopedia is a holistic method. The holistic means in Suggestopedia is multimodal stimuli. Multimodal means in many media, through many kind of media. So some of these are emotional media, emotional stimuli, and others are logical stimuli. And in emotional stimuli is somewhat artistic, somewhat nonverbal, and somewhat paraconscious. Paraconscious is kind of subconscious, but para means simultaneously. So it goes conscious and paraconscious works together simultaneously. That's the concept of Suggestopedia. That's why they call it paraconscious. And logical side of stimuli is verbal stimuli and also consciousness. Together, we call it suggestive integration. So Suggestopedia is meant to be created to realize the suggestive integration. So as many of you know, that Suggestopedia is a coined words by Lozanov, put together two words, suggestion and also pedagogy. So what I'm talking about now is the suggestion side of Suggestopedia. Suggestion in Suggestopedia means English offering. It's not a clinical suggestion. It's a general term, offering. So offering, Suggestopedia is an offering an environment where it's safe, harmless, protected, and tolerated, and creative, stimulating, promoting, and helpful, coherent, meaningful, and rewarding. That is an environment where the students can optimize learning in their own ways. But how? So that's the question. How? Suggestion in Suggestopedia is interpreted as an offering of an environment where everything means something positive towards learning. By interconnecting meanings of symbols in the classroom. So what are symbols in the classroom? We are surrounded by many types and many kind of symbols. Symbols in the classroom are in language and teaching props, teaching activity, teaching context, and teaching content, of course, and teacher, and finally, structure. They all act as symbols, such as a language. It's as an encouragement to the students and praise to the student, praising peer praise, etc., verbally. And also props, you use props in the classroom. Maybe some are artworks, poster on the wall, and some uses mascot, class mascot, and some put flower in the classroom, and some uses toys, etc. And teaching activity. Of course, you use game and singing sometimes, and obviously thinking, and creating something in the classroom. They are all act as symbol. And context, it's teaching context, how the teaching goes. The context may involve curiosity, or surprising, or informing. Those contexts. In those contexts, the content is taught. What kind of content? Maybe it's interesting content, challenging content, or achievable content. What about teacher? Teacher is also a symbol. Teacher's behavior is a symbol. Teacher's appearance is also a symbol. I'm not teaching you, but you are looking at me, and you look at my face, and the facial expression is also a symbol. And the structure, class structure, course structure, the structure. Consistency of the structure, prestige of the structure, and stability of the structure, they are all symbols. The symbols can create suggestion or offerings or meaning. Each symbol can be interpreted in any ways. Some symbol can be positive, some are negative towards learning. As a single symbol and also as interconnection of various symbols, multiple symbols, in a cultural context, in a social context, and personal context, they mean something. They mean something through interpretation. Each student start interpret the environmental symbols. Who this teacher is. Where am I now? And what am I looking at? And why am I sitting in this chair or something like that? Everything you feel, you can interpret in positive way or negative way. Not in language or verbalize, but you can feel it anyway. Looking at this is a symbol. How do you feel looking at this symbol? This is a black cat with a red bow tie. Some of you know this cat, but some of you don't. This is a simple black cat. And black cat in some culture is a bad omen. It's a witch's pet. Some associate this with funeral because it's black. And some thinks it's a demon or demon's friend. And it's a dodgy animal. Some don't like it. But it is a symbol, maybe, a cute animal. It's a little animal, cat. And this is an anime character. Probably some of you know this is an anime character. It's a Ghibli, Studio Ghibli animation. The name, the Kiki's delivery service. His name is Gigi. And cat is also soft thing and softness. It's an agile animal. And it's a smart animal. So this can be interpreted in negative way and as well as positive way. What makes it positive and negative is the context. If you see this animal in the anime or anime film, you love it. But if you are driving in a car at night and looked at a black cat, and then you will see, it's a bad omen, something. It's all context. What about this? In your classroom, you may sometimes make mistake. Teacher's mistake is a common thing, but it's also a shame thing, maybe. But you can take this as a symbol. It's merely a symbol. Teacher's mistake is a symbol. It can be positive, it can be negative. If so, take it positive. Teacher can use it as a great opportunity to impress students with the content. So students like it. When teacher makes mistake, teacher can also make mistake. And teacher just laugh it off. I made a mistake, ha ha ha. That's a positive thing. And also, the teacher can use it as a warm up the classroom. The laughing warms up classroom. And ice breaking. And this is an joyful moment. Teacher making mistake. It's unusual. So you can use it as a refreshment in the classroom. just as if it is a planned event, planned activity. So that's important. When you make a mistake in the classroom, you don't have to think of it's a damage. It's a damage of the classroom, my teaching, etc. You can just take it and use it just like it's planned. It's a planned activity. So, each symbol can be interpreted in any ways, positive or negative, to learning in the interconnection in a cultural, social, and personal context. If so, teacher can pick the better meaning from the given semantic options of the symbols at the point of the classroom context. The important is context. You have to think about the context. And also, it could be personal, it could be social, it could be cultural. Just like a cat, in some culture, it's a bad omen, but in the other culture, it's not a bad omen. And society has some sort of social norms, put some meaning on that cat. And personal, maybe you don't know how you really feel when you see the cat, because it's an all personal thing. Some of your students have had a same kind of cat, black cat, kitten, and it just died and sort of thing. It's a very personal and sad affair. But you cannot know it. Anyway, in general, you can pick the better meaning and use it in a classroom. So teacher can make good use of symbols, not only one symbol, but symbols, and interconnect them in a positive context with consideration of common social norms. You are in social norms, and you know this social norm is very common because you are in there. Maybe Australia, where I live, has different social norms than in Greece, but we share, as a human being, we share something in common. But you can narrow that border into Greece and Athens and etc. Then small family, but common social norms, you have to consider it. And this connection is what we call, what Suggestive calls suggestive integration. So you take symbols, you take meaning of the symbols in good way toward the learning. At the same time, social norms tend to be limiting against belief of one's potentiality, which means that now I'm 65, you say, for example. Then 65 is too late for learn everything. It's not just, it could be the social norm. It's too late, it's a social norm. It's limiting you from learning anything new. So teacher can carefully widen and lower the border of the limiting social norms so the students can step out of it. So not every social norm is a bad thing, limiting, but some social norms are limiting your thoughts, limiting your belief, which you believe you can do it. So, what teacher do is desuggestion. Desuggestion means to take students out of the border of these limiting social norms. So desuggestion can be established when the symbols in the course are if the positively integrated, if the course is positively integrated, desuggestion would be easy. That's what I experienced many times. Desuggestion can also be established in the classroom when students have improved self-esteem from a rewarding environment. That's why rewarding environment is important. And it is established when students have gained beliefs that it is okay to make mistake. So mistake is nothing. I have told about the teacher's mistake. If the teacher's mistake is nothing, the student's mistake is nothing. It's a very good message that teacher making mistake and saying it's nothing. So students can also make mistake. And students feel they are learning with a special teacher in a special environment. This is very important. So this, if they believe this class is very special to me, which is I deserve to be here, or I am happy to be here. If they feel I'm happy to be here, it's a success. So, and next, the suggestion can be established if students feel they do not have to be their real selves. Okay, this, I am talking as myself right now. That's why I am I'm a bit nervous because I'm myself. If the English language is not my native language, I'm a Japanese-born Japanese working in an English environment. So English is not my native language. So I'm nervous, but as myself. But students doesn't always have to be their selves, their real self. If they can feel, imagine if they can be someone else, or they play someone else, they don't have to worry about themselves anymore. So it's a relief. And the suggestion can occur when students realize they have already stepped out the conventional social norm border. They believe, or I believe, if I'm 65, I cannot learn quickly because I'm too old. That's a social norm. And in some classroom, I already learned something and using it fluently, then I realized that I'm stepped out this norm. So it's very important. In Suggestpedia, having no worries about not making mistake or having self-esteem is called infantilization. Infantilization is not it's a childish thing. It's a childlike, flexible, and optimistic mindset. So if you can acquire this mindset, you can go out of the limit, the suggested. And if students feel like they are learning in a special environment from the special teacher, it's a prestige effect. I'm no one. I'm just an ordinary person. But if I'm talking to you as a president of Greece, maybe it's not good for you, but maybe someone else. That's a very prestigious person. So the impact from the speaker is different. So that's what Suggestpedia calls prestige effect. And Suggestpedia, in the Suggestpedia course, full course, Suggestpedia teacher invite the students to have another name, another profession, another age, another gender. So you can be anything in the classroom. So they are called, their names as their chosen, selected personality. So you can be a totally different person in the classroom. And finally, this is something very special in Suggestopedia, which is this famous concert reading session. Concert reading session is given, students are sitting on the chair and listen to the classical music while teacher is reading out the material. So it's a memory session to expose students' brain to a large amount of information. How large it is? It's about 800 words in the first day. In my Japanese Suggestopedia course, I gave students 800 new Japanese words in the concert session. I'm not expecting to memorize them and use it immediately. But anyways, the information the teacher gives to the students in such environment goes into the student's brain, subconscious or paraconscious, and comes out at some time later. So the teacher expecting some kind. Because sometimes, as a student, I was a student in Spanish course and Italian course in Suggestopedia, and sometimes I feel that why do I know this phrase? Why do I know this word? I just don't know, but I say this. So it's very weird, but it comes out sometimes. So that is Suggestopedia as a concept. And Suggestopedia is also called as the Suggestopedia or Reservopedia. They are all named by Lozano. He changed the names many times, but the Suggestopedia is the original name. Now, back to our normal teaching life. To apply ideas of Suggestopedia in an ordinary class, how do you do that? You should be conscious of symbols and what meaning they offer, because everything in the classroom is a symbol. So you can use it or you can neglect it, whatever, but you can use it in a positive way. Integrate meaning of symbols in a positive direction towards learning. Learning is a purpose. So you don't have to, you shouldn't forget this purpose. It's a learning. But you can enjoy the classroom. You can make enjoyable, however enjoyable the classroom is, with symbols to arrange in the same direction. And you should try not to stay in the limiting social norms. You should be conscious of social norms, how limiting it is, the human potential. And love your students. Yes, it's important. So you don't have to hate students. Love your students and they will love you. And believe their potential. And they can do it. So you can use these concepts in your regular teaching in some ways. In some ways, you don't have to use all. You don't have to be a Suggestopedia teacher. You don't have to give the concert reading session, but at least using suggestions in this way may improve your teaching. But if you want to become a Suggestopedia teacher, there's an association called LITTA, Lausanne Institute International Teachers Training Association for Suggestopedia Teacher Training and Bibliography. I don't put my bibliography here because they have Suggestopedia important bibliography. Thank you very much. This is about my presentation. Is there any questions?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Dr. Hagiwara, very much. Well, you gave us very interesting ideas how we can actually see our classes, our practices. You gave us hints to reflect on our practices and re-examine what we do in our classes and, well, improve in a way our approaches through suggestopedia and desuggestopedia ideas. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Could you please, yes, could you please tell us whether you think that the suggestopedia approach can help students who face special learning needs so that they can improve their performance at school?
Yes, but you really have to know about the special needs, what they need in the classroom. And it can be the presence of those students can be a good symbol to other students, but it's all up to the teachers. If the students who need a special care requires the interconnection with others, suggestopedia is a very good thing. The people teacher are introducing how to inform, how to love each other, how to help each other. So usually the suggestopedia classroom is very helping environment, each other. The peer learning is very important. But for example, my Spanish class, there's one student who is has a problem with reading. But the other students became very, very helpful to these students. So the course went very, very well, and the other students acquire the better knowledge to use the material through helping this student. So that's also good. Everything is up to the teacher, how the teacher can conduct this classroom.
Thank you very much.
If I answer your question.
Well, I think you did, yes. So thank you very much. I don't think there are any other questions at the moment. Well, it was great pleasure to have you here at our conference. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.